Oh, hello! Welcome to week 5 of Pound the Wok Podcast.
Thanks for tuning
Wow,
in,
that was.
guys. Welcome to Pound the Wok Podcast.
I gotta re-stretch my eyes. They were already squinty to begin with, and pulling them tight like that was
Yeah, they'll get
less
stuck
than
and
ideal.
they'll never open again if you.
I'm in permanent Dolby Digital widescreen. Holy shit! Welcome back, y'all, to week 5 of Pound the Wok Podcast, baby.
Pound it, baby. Week 4
We had
was
a
behind us.
shitty week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say just in general, too, just, I don't know. Obviously, we know what we're talking about.
I mean, our picks that we had, many worse than the others. Some teams that probably should have won didn't win. We can get into that if you're up for it.
Yeah,
That's what
man,
we do here.
unfortunately so. I mean, it's funny because week 3, like we said, was so fun. I was a little bummed out this Sunday. But yeah, I guess let's get right
Oh,
to it. Jump into the games and let's talk about it real fast.
all right now,
That was my redneck voice. Real fast.
real fast.
Thursday.
All right, Thursday football. Yeah, I mean we both predicted that one right. It's one of the few that we did get right. It was a tight game most of the way through. Kyler Murray had a couple picks, and Seattle ended up kicking a 52-yarder on the last play to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Arizona could not get the ball down the field at least like the first half. Shout out Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. getting some connections. One in the end zone. That looked like a good ball. Good catch, too. But yeah, we were right. Seattle's a strong team, and Darnold's been playing as good as he has last year, and Seattle's defense looks really good. They got a hard matchup this week. But yeah, good game, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out Marv. He was having a hard start to the season, so I'm glad he's shown a little bit of life, and hopefully that boosts his confidence a little bit. Being the son of Marvin Harrison Sr., that's a lot of pressure, so I'm glad to see he's getting some momentum here. All right, and this is where you start to insert a finger back into the butthole.
We were tied, right?
Minnesota. We were ass to ass, but clearly after this week, you got a couple knuckles deep, so
Sick.
let's talk about it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh looked efficient. Aaron Rodgers, they didn't have to do too much, and he played really efficient ball. DK Metcalf looked like a beast. Minnesota had the ball a lot, man. I know Carson Wentz had to put up at least like 40-something pass attempts, a couple picks. Shout out Pittsburgh, though. In Ireland, I said London last week on our episode. It was in Ireland.
It's Ireland. It'll be in London this week. But yeah, A-Rod played a clean game. Kenneth Gainwell had a pair of tutties.
Yes.
Wentz through some early picks. They started to show a little bit of life in the fourth. Unfortunately, they ran out of time. But yeah, good job, Pittsburgh. Overseas.
Yeah, man. We picked Washington before they really completely said that Jaden Daniels would be out. I was kind of leaning that he would play for some reason for the lack of coverage on it, but their backups were in. Didn't have Terry either. Mariota did not play a clean game, and they just couldn't get that lead back. They were just trailing like the whole game, I'd say. I think they only lost by like a touchdown, I think. What was it? Let me see. Yeah, 27-34.
7 point. Yep. Atlanta just straight up outplayed Washington. Michael
Bijan
Penix
looked
Jr.
great.
just had more yards. Bijan had more yards. London, Robinson, Pitts, they all had a pretty good game in the air. And Washington had a hard time getting yards and spreading the ball around, and score shows.
Yep. Buffalo.
All right. New Orleans at Buffalo. New Orleans actually stayed
Yes.
in this game way too close until the third into the fourth, where Buffalo did pull away. I don't know if Buffalo just came in with the mentality that they're just a doo-doo team and they didn't have to do a whole lot. But yeah, it was somewhat tight. I think it was like 21-17 halfway through the third, but then, like I said, Buffalo pulled away. James Cook, though, had another great game. He broke the century mark, and they got the dub out of it.
Yeah, that just reminded me too. They ran that. They tried running a little trick play, like a reverse pass, and Olave still just threw it in the end zone for a pick, or it was near the red zone, I think. That was an ugly look. But yeah, the Saints they battled head to head all the way till like halfway through the game or so, like you said. Doesn't mean much though. You got to play all 4 quarters. Buffalo still ended up winning by 2 possession scores. So.
Yep. And we had Cleveland at Detroit. I think that was a sloppy passing game for both teams. I guess in retrospect, both teams ran the ball okay. Amon-Ra had a pair of tutties. Aiden Hutchinson had a couple sacks in there, so I wasn't surprised that they won. And the score, I think it was like 34-10. So no big surprise here. Not a whole lot of takeaways.
Yeah, I mean it didn't matter too much, but to have a special teams touchdown against a team like Cleveland that their defense has been balling out this year, I mean that's big to like pull away. But yeah, Detroit just, I guess you could still say they dominated. Now no more Joe Flacco apparently. I think Dylan Gabriel will be starting next week. That's cool.
Gabriel, yep.
I guess
that is it. All right, and then we had Carolina at New England. Got another finger in my butt.
Yeah, New England looked good. I mean, Carolina's pass defense, a lot of holes in zone coverage throughout the game. Stephon Diggs finally looked like Stephon Diggs. I think he had over 100. We also skipped Houston over Tennessee, but once again, good skip. One team showed up that game. It was a shutout.
I was going to say, I was probably skipping over the one that got completely shut out. I mean, if you want to say anything.
Tennessee needs to do something, man. Their offense needs to. They need to find something. I don't think Cam Ward looks terrible. Statistically, he's like bottom of the barrel now with all the other quarterbacks in the league. But, yeah, they got to do something. But, yeah, I guess we'll go the next game, which had me not as focused for the other 1 o'clock games, unfortunately. We lost to the Giants 21-18, I think. Early on the game, biggest impact, no question, was Joe Alt getting rolled into. His ankle got rolled into. He's going to be out for several weeks. We already had Trey Pipkins, who's terrible at right tackle, and then we decided to put in Austin Decalis, who's a Houston. We traded for him from Houston. He's a nobody, and he looked so bad. I think we set a record high in the most QB pressures against us in a game. It was like statistically one of the worst games ever since they started recording that stat almost damn near 10 years ago. Brian Burns looked really good. Abdul Carter looked even better, and Kayvon Thibodeau looked good. So that's exactly what the Giants were looking for, to have 3 really good edge rushers. I was kind of making fun of that last week, I think, and that bit me in the ass, dude. And we are going to be without starting tackles for several weeks now. So we need to do something about that immediately. Of course, it's like the worst team to go against. Even though the Giants aren't, they were lackluster 0-3 coming into the game. They have a great defense. They really do. A great front 4. Jackson Dart's first start, he ran the ball like a maniac. I think that's a lot on coaching. They did a good job not having him be in situations where he could make many mistakes, and he looked confident. So I guess shout out Jackson Dart. But we came out flat, one of Herbert's poorer games. Once again, that's all because of pass pressure, dude. He could not stay clean in the pocket, and you're just not going to win many games that way, and I'm worried for our near future here.
Yeah, the injury, Joe Alt was not good. Herbert struggled there. Like you said, I mean, we've been talking about the Giants' defense, or at least their front, all season, how that's the star of the team. They have ton of talent, and it showed this game, unfortunately, for you guys. And I guess just while we're on the topic, Jesse Ekstrom, 3372, stated, starting Dart changes nothing for the Giants until the O-line gets fixed and Bowen gets fired. There's no hope. And Spencer Lanham Salisbury 567 says, yeah, Giants still suck. So, what a terrible week to make that comment.
That's hilarious.
I guess front office saw those, because, the Giants follow us on Pound the Wok Podcast here. They saw that. They showed it to Scatabo and Dart, and those two took it to heart. And, yeah, unfortunate loss. Big shocker, honestly, to me.
Yeah, it was rough. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, Philly at Tampa. We both had Philly right. Yeah. Jalen Hurts just gets the job done. He throws little tiny little short passes, and you got Saquon and Goddard and guys doing something with the ball after the fact. Yeah, his boring as some people say their offense is, they're finding ways to win. Again, and Tampa's a great team, so yeah.
Yeah, Hurts had less than 200 yards in the air. I think he was the leading rusher with maybe 60, 70 yards. But like you said, he gets it done. You know, he just finds ways to get the ball downfield however he needs to. That fake tush push, pitching
That was
to
cool.
Saquon, that was pretty sweet. But yeah, Tampa Bay, they were slow to start the game. They were playing catch up. Started showing a little bit of life later in the game, and fortunately just ran out of time.
Yep. I guess you want to dive into the next one here, Indy at Rams.
Look, overall, I'm not mad at Indy's performance. Ultimately, we did take a loss. Stupid mistakes, man. We had chances to win. A.D. Mitchell drops the ball after a monster catch on third down. He sticks the ball out and he muffs it, just like JT did a couple, maybe last year.
Yeah, I remember that, actually.
You would think that in that Indiana, culture, that you hold on to that damn ball until you get in. So between that and then JT late in the game broke out a 54-yard touchdown, scored it.
Yeah, that hurt.
A.D. Mitchell gets called for the hold. We get great field position late in the game on the final drive. Dumb mistakes, man. We had a couple penalties, I think another hold, a couple false starts, pushed us back from the Rams 47 to our 28, and cost us the game. So it was mistakes that killed us. I think talent-wise, we're still there. Coaching-wise, we're still there. Like we said, this was our first real big test. And it shows that, Indy can hang with a very talented LA team. LA was in it till the very end against Philly. So for us to, throw blows with them the entire game, says a lot. But, shout out Matt Stafford for nearly throwing 400 yards with his old ass. So
he cooked.
They won.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the score goes out the way. I mean, I picked the Rams, but I swear I said it was going to be a close game, closer than a lot of people think. And like you said, it was really like Indy really biting themselves in the ass. That's 14 points off the board. So obviously that's a big swing. A.D. Mitchell's still real young, real talented. I like the guy coming out of college. He looked really good. You got to turn around and just play better. But yeah, the Rams are a good team, man. So shout out Indy to at least take an L against like us, another conference team. See what you guys do from there. You guys stay healthy. You guys are going to be a competitive team throughout the season. I feel like at this point, there's no question.
I think the new Ursay ownership, they're taking a lot of accountability. So I'm assuming that they made sure that the coaches after the game made it a statement that you don't do all these mistakes. So hopefully we bounce back on this one and keep rolling from there. Another one we got wrong. I think it surprised a lot of us. Jacksonville at San Francisco. Jacksonville's defense, and they had 2 picks, 2 fumble recoveries. I think that really helped the offense kind of stay in it, and they get the dub over a resilient San Francisco team.
Yeah, McCaffrey still looked like a beast and stayed healthy, stayed on the field. So that's promising for San Fran. But what's not promising is Purdy got hurt again. I think they're out Juan Jennings. Kittle's obviously been out. They're banged up on offense. So another thing is Jacksonville's kind of been flying under the radar. I think they're 3-1 now. Shout out Jacksonville and their new coaching. Liam Cohen got mad at the D coordinator Robert Saleh because I saw before the game Robert Saleh, it didn't even seem like he was really being any like egregious, I don't know, or being negative at all. He was just saying like, oh, they do a good job at like legally stealing signs is what he said, sign stealing, but he said legally. And then after the game, Liam Cohen like got up in Robert Saleh's face and was like, don't ever talk about me. Robert Saleh's like 6'5", like 250 pounds. He's like fucking, he's like huge. He literally said he would murder him. That was his response. I don't know if you heard that. He said, "I will end your life." I thought the NFL would fine him or something, but they just kind of swept that under the rug. that was really exciting to see.
Well, there we go. There was the highlight of that game was that comment there.
He said, "I'll end your life." That's funny. He said something like that. But yeah, Baltimore, Kansas City. That was a big telling game. A lot of people said that 2-1-3 teams. And Baltimore's defense at this point, 4 weeks straight, have looked really bad. I know they're banged up more than ever, obviously, at this point as time goes on. But even week 1 and throughout, their defense has looked terrible. And another thing is Kansas City looked like, I guess you could say, vintage Kansas City. They looked good, dude. And they're going to get healthier as time goes on, so that's a little scary. Shout out Kansas City. Fuck Kansas City. Your dogs are barking. Yeah, Lamar Jackson is like the first game too, also where I can remember where Lamar Jackson looked like a handicap on the team. Like they had some open targets downfield where he didn't have the confidence to get it off, or just wanted to do a little bit too much for the team, which is kind of what he's had to do. So he's been running around. He was running around and he got sacked a lot. So that's 2 weeks in a row too where two teams found a way to kind of contain Lamar Jackson, get some sacks, put him on the ground behind the line of scrimmage. Baltimore needs to figure something out fast. I'm the type of guy to say, I mean, the NFL, every game matters, but there's still a lot of games left. So I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore gets their way into the hunt by like midseason. But yeah, that's that's 4 really hard opponents. So
it was tough for the Ravens there. Lamar, I think he's got a hamstring injury now too. But like you said, they've been putting it on his back for many weeks in a row. He's been the life of the team. I mean, he's, MVP quarterback, right? And you expect that from him, but he needs a little bit more support. Henry's had a couple flat weeks in a row now. And then Casey getting healthy, with Worthy returning, the depth is definitely opening up. Getting Kelsey and, Smith-Schuster open a little bit more, just really able to kind of spread the ball out, because I think Kelsey was getting 3 targets a game, maybe 20-something yards average. He got 5 with 40. I mean, it's not monster numbers, but it is picking up, and that's just game 1 of having Worthy back. So I think, having a speedy guy and just some more depth out there, it's going to continue down that path.
yeah, I agree. And then we'll go right to Chicago at Vegas. That game was really, really close down to the very end. Chicago wins with a blocked field goal. That's sick. Shout out Ben Johnson, scraping some wins early in the season so that, they don't get that negative narrative where they just start talking about like, oh, Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, it's not working out. It's still their first year. To be 500 into week 5 is a win if I'm a Chicago fan. Big win against I guess you could say lackluster Raiders as of now. But yeah, Genty's looked really good the last 2 weeks in my opinion based on the fact that he has no offensive line. He's looked pretty... He's got explosion. I'm sure they're going to have a bright future. Fuck the Raiders. But yeah, shout out the Bears.
There you go. All right.
The only blue line of the year, maybe.
Blue lines, yep. We have both got a tie on that. Fun fact, the game ends in a tie. Jordan Love gets 337 yards. Dak Prescott, 319. They both threw for 3 touchdowns. Jacobs rushed for 86 yards. Williams rushed for 85 yards. Both Quay Walker and Jack Sanborn had 11 total tackles with 6 solos, and the game ends in a tie. A lot of similar statistics on both sides of the ball here.
Yeah, this is, I'm not going to lie, this is one of those games, too, where I think it was like, did they get a safety? I think it was like 13-2, or it was something crazy like that right before half, and I went to sleep. And then, yeah, I woke up to it being 40-40. I watched the highlights, obviously. Shout out Dak Prescott. This is one of those games where you could say someone put their team on their back. He balled out. Obviously, without CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens steps up. Yeah, to put up 40 against a Green Bay defense, maybe I was a little wrong about Green Bay's defense just because of that Commanders game. But early in the first half, too, they looked amazing. So to put up 40 against a Green Bay team, obviously you tied the game. That's still a win. As a Cowboys fan, I'd be happy, which they were. But yeah, 40-40 tie. It's one of the highest scoring ties ever.
There we go. All right.
And then some gross
Jets
games.
At Miami, another one we got wrong. These last 2 games, I really didn't quite care for.
Yeah, well, the Miami game, something like Tyreek Hill's fucking leg went backwards. I don't know if you saw that live or not. That shit was gross. I don't know if that's a turf thing. Like maybe we can argue more about turf causing injuries. That's very unfortunate. His career is done. His career's done.
Another injury we didn't bring up, Malik Neighbors, man.
Yeah, I was thinking that after we brought that up. That's unfortunate. That's a young
Yeah.
star blowing your ACL against the Chargers. Odell Beckham did the exact same thing when he was with the Giants against the Chargers. Kind of weird. I wonder if this works out. Hold up. I want to put this on the screen. See if this. Could you hear that?
I could. I could.
That almost made me like kind of cry. I was like, damn, bro. I don't know. He might beat up women, but he's been one of my favorite football players ever. Especially when he's on the Chiefs, he just drove me nuts. So R.I.P. Tyreek.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, look, you don't like to see players get hurt, and someone of his caliber, it's definitely unfortunate. But I mean, it's contact sport, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but they won.
They did win, which I thought New York would be way more in it with the run game. The first drive, their first drive, the running game was slashing them up until that fumble right down at the red zone.
Yeah.
And they just stayed a score behind the entire way, and they just couldn't keep up. So
Yeah, shout out Darren
Yes.
Waller. He balled out. That
Yeah.
motherfucker came back out of nowhere into the league, and
hell yeah, big
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I'm sure he'll be a productive
All right.
player on that team. But yeah, Cincy at Denver was an even uglier Monday night game. Only one team showed up, I'd say.
Yeah, not a lot of feedback there. I mean, that was just they slapped him around. They got the dub, which I mean, I wasn't super surprised.
They should get Jameis Winston, but apparently their coach, Zach Taylor, like today said that he has no intentions on getting a new quarterback in the room. He trusts Browning, blah, blah, blah. All I know is for fantasy football purposes, if you have Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, that means they're cooked for the rest of the year. If they had Jameis Winston,
Done.
at least he'd throw the ball in the air towards them more often. But I don't know.
Say he'll throw for 500 yards and 7 picks. So as long as you start anyone on that receiving core, you have a chance.
Yeah, but I guess that's not happening. So yeah, that's week 4. Once again, pretty shitty week if you ask me as a Chargers fan. I'm sure you kind of agree as a Colts fan. But yeah, a lot more football ahead of us. Yeah.
Well, let's look ahead of us at this a lot more football.
Week 5.
Week 5. You are up 3 picks on me, which is this many, and you're just like knuckled. I'll give you the.
Yeah, it's still comfortable. It's still comfortable for you. So.
God damn, how big's your fucking asshole?
All right,
Let's jump into it. Thursday Night Football. We have, just looking at this, we have very similar picks this week. Let's
solid.
dive into it. San Francisco at LA Rams. LA beat a hot Colts team, broke our streak, made us punt like 4 times, something like that. In San Francisco, I mean, they're banged up, so give me LA.
Yeah, I agree. And even more so, Rams have stayed healthy, especially Stafford. So he looked like a maniac last week. San Fran's got a really good defense, but yeah, super banged up. I'm taking the Rams.
And we have the London game, another 9:30 in the morning game, Minnesota versus Cleveland. This is where probably our only difference is. You have Minnesota, I have Cleveland. I'm throwing in the mental factor, man. They've been overseas in 2 different countries, 10 days. I don't know.
That's nuts. That is nuts to have the same team play both international 9 a.m. games. I guess.
So they've
They'll
been
yeah.
away for 10 days. They've been away from family. They've been away from their homes and whatnot. I think a mental factor plays in a little bit. Minnesota's also down, I think, 3 starting linemen, including center Ryan Kelly. Cleveland's defense is pretty solid, so I'm hoping they get some pressure and give old Wency boy a hard time and go from there.
Yeah, I mean it's an up in the air pick. I just main thing I was thinking was Dylan Gabriel's first start. if he's able to like efficiently run the ball too, he is pretty good at staying in the pocket, opposed to like, I guess you'd say Shador, who like drops back like a maniac. So I get him being QB2 throughout this beginning of the season. Now him being the guy. I don't know. I think Minnesota pulls this one against a rookie quarterback's debut.
I'm hoping this is the same thing, the Jackson Dart debut. Run for a little bit, throw for one, moving on. Houston at Baltimore. Baltimore is banged up, so it could be an issue, especially if Lamar is still out, which I believe he's going to be for the next couple weeks. But they still have a dominant running game, and Cooper Rush. I mean, he's shown moments where he isn't the worst person in the world, and Houston, I think they're still struggling. They had a big win against a really terrible Tennessee team. So give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I wasn't really putting into account the whole Lamar hamstring thing. And also, Houston did kind of put it together last week, but like we said, it was against the Titans, have been one of the worst teams in the league so far. I just think Baltimore is desperate to scrape up some wins, and this is one of them they can do. If Lamar is fully out, then that does take a big impact. But whatever, we both got Baltimore. I'll take that.
I'm hoping they rely on running the ball more, and if you keep feeding Henry the ball, something's going to break open eventually at some point.
Facts. I agree.
Miami at Carolina. I don't know why I ever jumped on the Carolina train. I don't know. And then Miami, they showed they are somewhat competent last week. So I'm just going to ride Miami on this one just based on how Carolina played.
Yeah, well said. I mean, and also Miami looked like a competent team last week against a defensive coach, good defensive team. And yeah, I also have been high on Carolina this year. Maybe it's just too soon, way too soon to still say that. So yeah, give me Miami. Give me Miami at Carolina.
Well, they did. I mean, I'm sure the score had a factor into it. They did bench Bryce Young a little bit. I think Andy Dalton threw for a pass. So, once he gets benched, does that cycle start over? I don't know.
I mean, it happened last year. He came out hungry. So, yeah, we'll see. Vegas at your Colts. We both got the Colts. I mean, don't sleep on the Raiders. Good coaching system. I like Pete Carroll. But, yeah, Indy is a good team, and they're healthy.
Based on what I saw from both teams last week, as long as they can get the mistakes out of the way, I think Alec Pierce should be coming back this game, so he's been, vital to our deep balls for multiple seasons now. So if he's back and healthy and out of concussion protocol, we'll have our weapons back again and start rolling back on the Indiana Jones train.
Yes, sir. New York at New Orleans. We both got New York, a 1-3 team, just beat us. New Orleans still probably the worst team in the league. Did show slight sign of life last year, last week. But man, yeah, Giants front four is like if you don't have a competent, great line, yeah, they fly to the quarterback. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm basing this not on Jackson Dart or Cam Scatabo. I'm basing it on the fact that the front four they're cooking. I mean, they've been cooking all year, but they're really starting to get into form now. If they can play the way they did last week, just disrupt the quarterback. I don't think they're going to have a good time. New Orleans.
Agree. Denver at Philly. What do you got? We both got Philly. I skipped it. Dallas at Jets. Yeah, Dallas looked like a competent offense, even though, once again, without CeeDee Lamb. Javonte Williams has been a real big signing for them that not many people probably foresaw. So that's exciting for Dallas. And then the Jets, Justin Fields, man, I do want to say Justin Fields is proving to be a real unicorn on the field. He's just so bigger than those other super fast quarterbacks. And that plays a role in how he runs down the field. He had that big 4th down, 50-yard scamper for a touchdown. So, I don't know. I still got Dallas winning it. Should be a close one.
Dallas putting 40 on Green Bay. That's my main premise on this. If they can keep that going, I just don't think the Jets can keep up. Fields can run the ball, but he's not always the best decision maker when he passes.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's another thing. Dallas's pass defense is like really bad, and they've been talking about it all year that because they got Eberflus, the former Bears coach. He's a big like zone blitzing defense, and it's had big holes on the defense. But if there's any quarterback you want to play against and run zone coverage against, I hate to say it, it's like Justin Fields. That man does not trust throwing it into windows at all. Like, he really doesn't. But, I mean, that doesn't mean he's not a talent. Like, he tucks it and runs it, like, better than almost anyone else. So, but yeah, Dallas. 40 against Green Bay. Give me Dallas.
Denver at Philly. Like we said earlier, Philly just keeps finding ways to win. They don't have to put up monster numbers to get it done. They just get it done, whether it's on offense, spreading the ball out, defense plays solid, special teams blocks the field goals when you need them. So they've just constantly been finding ways to win. It's a home game for them, so I'm taking the Birds.
Yeah, I almost could smell an upset this game. Denver does have a really good defense. I think they haven't played as good as they thought they would this year yet, especially like Pat Surtain. I've seen a few things where he's been involved with some busted coverages. Can't put it all the way on him, but yeah, I still got Philly. They're well coached too, so yeah.
There we go. Tennessee at Arizona. Until Tennessee can kind of show me that they're getting anything together, I'm probably going to ride against them. Unless they maybe play New Orleans, and I might call for that to be a tie.
Yeah, Arizona, they're banged up. They lost James Conner a few weeks ago, and then they just lost Trey Benson. So now they're going to be with like a bunch of no-namers. Shout out D. Mercado. Pick them up in fantasy, y'all. But yeah, give me Arizona, man. Their defense is still very competent, well-coached defense against a team that just put up 0 points. So.
There we go. Tampa Bay at Seattle. Tampa's, they're still a hot team. They find ways to come back. Like I said, they were starting to come back this week. The past week. They just ran out of time. They seem to start slow, so they can pick it up. I don't see why they can't take the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think this is the best matchup of the week. I think this is going to be a really close game. I picked Tampa. At the end of it, was all just gut feeling. Yeah, both teams look really good on all phases. But yeah, it's gonna be a close one. This is the closest one, in my opinion.
I think Baker's got that X factor that you can't really put a statistic on. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, here's what I think is gonna be the most fun game of the week: is Detroit at Cincinnati.
Yeah, Detroit might put up 60.
And that will be exciting.
I think they will put up a lot
over
of points.
I'm gonna take the over on 55 on this game.
Yeah, they Detroit. I think Detroit's just gonna destroy the Bengals, dude. I think at this point, after this week, that maybe they'll be like Coach Taylor, like, all right, maybe we'll look for another quarterback. Because yeah, they're riding off Browning looking good like 1 week, like 2 years ago. That I swear to God, that's what it is. Like he had like one really good game when he stepped in for Burrow, like fucking 2 years ago, and he solidified a backup job, and that's exactly what he is, a backup quarterback, not even that good of one. Yeah.
Yep. Moving on.
Sucks.
All right, we got the Commies at the Chargers. Kind of wish it was an away game for you boys. We could have gone to this one, but
I definitely would have went.
The Chargers, I don't see 2 weeks. I mean, look, losing Joe Alt is huge, but I don't see 2 weeks of them playing the way they did, and the Washington front is not nearly as lethal as New York. So, based on that, I think they're going to kind of rally behind that. It's a home game, and I just feel like the Chargers are going to edge this one out.
Yeah, I think this is also going to be a really close game. I wanted to almost pick the Skins, but like you said, they don't have – they're pretty lackluster on the edge for their D-line. They have really good blitzing linebackers and a competent group of D-tackles. But we have Mekhi Becton probably coming back at right guard. That's big. Amarion Hampton he needs to get the ball even more now. He's 2 weeks in a row. He's at over 100 total yards. This week against the Giants was all rushing yards too. So he broke 2 big runs. Got to give him the ball like 15 to 20 times at least, I would say, especially without being able to drop back as successful as we will be, or we have been, because we have no fucking tackles. But yeah, I think the matchup still favors us in the sense that they don't really have an edge rush, and our interior line will get a little bit back together. So I'm sure we won't play as bad no matter what. Like our O-line, they probably watched footage this week and they're like, holy shit, we looked so bad. And they've been in practice all week just working together. So hopefully that's the case. They are back with Jaden. They are back with Jaden, though.
They are. But let's not discount the Chargers defense, though. And I know Jaden's back, but is he fully good? I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, all right. We have the Sunday night primetime game, New England at Buffalo. Give me Buffalo, man. They're undefeated. They're looking good. Just not much else to it.
Yeah, it seems like they'll probably run away with the first seed for the AFC. They've stayed healthy. New England's looked pretty good. I can't hate on New England. Shout out Drake May and once again Stephon Diggs, and they have a great running back committee, or good running back committee, I would say more. But yeah, Buffalo's the best team in the AFC right now. Josh Allen has just played efficient ball and put the team on his back when he has to. Give me Buffalo.
He's proved why he's the MVP. So, all right, Monday Night Football, Kansas City at Jacksonville. Kansas City's getting healthy, man. That's that. I mean, they beat Baltimore's still a solid team. So, the fact they beat them, they're starting to come back on the up. Give me KC.
Yeah, don't sleep on Jacksonville. I'll definitely be rooting for the Jags. But yeah, Kansas City just came off their best week of football this year. And I think they're on the up and up, unfortunately. So I also think Kansas City will win. What's up with these primetime games not looking too fun? Like, I can't recall many. I mean, the Ravens-Bills game was sick week 1. I don't know.
Yeah, they
primetime
games.
games.
But they last couple weeks have been not so favorable, but I guess they have to spread the love to some shitty teams every now and again.
Yeah, they need to. I'm hoping there's some flexes here later in the future near the end of the season. I just saw, I was on the Pat McAfee show, they were just going in about primetime Thanksgiving ball is going to be the Bengals versus, I'm drawing a blank who it was, but it's the Bengals. Their Bengals are playing as of right now for the Thanksgiving night game, and that's blasphemy if they don't change that here. So
I guess I'm going to get fucked up on Thanksgiving and not watch football that night.
Thanksgiving NFL games. Oh, yeah. Bengals at Ravens.
It's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
I mean, it would have been a good matchup coming into the last week of preseason, I guess.
I'm sure the narrative will change a little bit for Baltimore, but for as of right now, that's two stinky-ass teams. So, I don't know. They need to change that.
All right, well, I have KC winning 28-6. That's 34 total points on the Monday night game. You have 44 total.
Yeah, I thought 24-20 was my brain. I'm sure Jacksonville will compete. They're 3-1. They're 3-1.
There we go. And this is week 5 here. All right, about sums it up here. Did you want to run a parlay real quick?
Yeah, I mean, Devontae Adams anytime touchdown has been crossing my brain.
That was the one you took from me, so then...
Yeah, I don't know. Devontae's been getting open in the red zone. Stafford's been getting it to him. It's two smart IQ players, so...
Now you got me switching, because I thought you'd be more of a... not that guy.
Yeah. CMC is going to be like their only offensive player on the Niners, too.
So I guess what I'm going to do is take Puka for 100+ yards.
Okay.
And that, and the Devontae, there we go, locked in.
Lock it in with us, guys. We've never lost a parlay ever. It's starting to get crazy. It's starting to get crazy.
It's been crazy, man. Ever since we got that 76 pick parlay, I don't fucking know what I'm talking about anymore.
76. God damn, we're gonna be like billionaires. Yeah, that's it, guys. That is the not so fun week 4 episode of Pound the Wok podcast, guys. Hopefully week 5 is much more fun for you and me.
We're gonna turn this around. We're gonna win some money. Fun fact though, I have won $800 this year on bets with a profit of $275. And the total deposit for the year has been $30.
That's pretty sick. I definitely made like maybe like $1,000 the first week going into the second week, and then I have not hit a parlay since.
Yeah, so that's not true. You've won all the.
Oh, not
Thursday
counting
night
ours.
parlay.
Yeah, not counting our Thursday
yeah.
nights. That's what I meant. But
All right,
yeah.
y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
That was week 5 of.
Tune in, Pound the Wok Podcast.
Why did that look painful for you?
It was. Racially subjectifying myself is painful. For the viewership, though, I'll do anything.
I'll do anything for it. All right.
Thanks,
y'all.
guys. Comment, like, and subscribe.
Like, subscribe. Get these fingers out my butt.
My shirt says terrorism because our offensive line are terrorists to our own team.
All right, now.